Oh, good morning. Good morning. Just me, just your guy Dave, trying to figure out how to go live on Facebook. Rachel Hollis, nope, not here this morning. Ray Hollis is taping the Dr. Oz show this morning. That's right. Rachel is taping the Dr. Oz show this morning. And so while she tapes the Dr. Oz show, you're stuck with me. Do not adjust your sets. Do not adjust your sets. I did cut my own hair this morning. Good morning. It's Monday. Welcome to the Start Today morning show, where I'm still in the background on Instagram trying to figure out how to make Facebook go live. I'll be honest, it used to be easier. It doesn't feel easy. Good morning. What else is new? The wheels have come completely off the old bus. I hope that everyone had a nice Easter. Did y'all have a nice Easter? We had a nice Easter. It was an unconventional Easter, if I'm going to be honest. Nothing is normal these days. All right, hold on, everybody. I need you to give me 1 second so that I can actually try and go live on Facebook. What in the world? Why, Dave? Why would they leave you by yourself with this camera to try and go? I think my daughter is trying to slide things under the door in the bedroom. I can't tell if I'm going live. I want to go live. Am I live? Is there such thing as live? I just don't know. I'm trying to go live on a computer. Who would stay and watch this live stream? This is unbelievable. Good morning. All right, hold on, everybody. I can't tell how to do this thing on Facebook, so I am live. All right, fine. I'm live. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Did everybody have a nice Easter? Did it feel strange having an Easter that was unconventional? Because it felt strange here. Easter is my favorite holiday. It is my absolute favorite holiday, and it felt a little bit strange for the first time in our entire life not going to church on an Easter Sunday. So we had to make do with what we are trying to do in all of this with the quarantine, find some new ways to do new things in new times. So, yep, we did online church like I think a lot of you did. We found ways to have lunch with our family via Zoom call. That's strange. Cut my own hair this weekend. Didn't shave this weekend. There's a whole host of things that are happening. If you're just joining us, welcome. I know you're watching Rachel's feed. I am not her. My name is Dave. I am married to her. Rachel Hollis is in real time in the hallowed studios of the Start Today morning show, taping a segment of the Dr. Oz show, talking about how the heck we all handle this quarantine, this COVID, this virus, this everything. So bear with me. She'll be back tomorrow. I guarantee it. I promise. If you're doing our next 90-day challenge, congratulations. We are, as a community, trying to make it through these next 90 days together. This is the third week of our next 90-day challenge. And this week we are talking about habits. If you are signed up, you know that there is a new coaching in your learning portal. It's there for the rest of time and is available to you in real time to watch me, in this instance, teach you for a little more than an hour about habits. I start the conversation with me representing where I found pain in my life over the course of time, and the pain that I was always feeling was a disconnect between who I'd hoped to be in life and who I knew myself to be showing up as when I fell asleep at night, right? How you feel about yourself when you're by yourself, that is the best measure of whether your habits that you are currently indulging in are working for you or not, right? And so I want to encourage you, if you have not yet, one, sign up for the challenge. It's 100% free. We've got 14 weeks stuff. There are 12 weeks left to go. And if you believe that you are leading your life, that you are living your life, that you are in charge of your life, I hate to break this to you, your habits are what are actually controlling more than half of what you do every single day. So habits, as it turns out, are a wildly important thing any single day of the week, but are that much more important when we are in the midst of high stress, high pressure situations like the ones that we are experiencing in real time. Am I on Facebook? I mean, people are asking if I'm on Facebook. Hold on. Look at this. I'm going to go on real quick and see if I figured out how to go live on Facebook. I think I'm live on Facebook, but I might not be live on Facebook. If I'm not live on Facebook, then the boss is going to get mad at me, and I don't want to make her angry. She's trying to tape the old Dr. Oz show in real time. Let's see. Can't tell. Don't know. Not live. All right, hold on. I'm going live. I'm going to put my phone next to her phone, and I'm going to go live because, dang it, I had one job. I can't mess up one single job. All right, hold on. All right. If you thought you were already seeing me on Facebook, don't tell anyone on Facebook that we've been going so long. Oh, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Start Today Morning Show. Sorry I'm 10 minutes late. I have not already been going on Instagram for 10 full minutes worth of time, thinking that I was already live on Facebook. This is just the beginning of the show. Welcome to the Start Today Morning Show. I am your host, Dave Hollis. It's really great to be here with you at the very, very beginning of the show. There has not already been 10 minutes of unbelievable content where people were wondering, where is Rachel, and why I'm sitting here on the floor of my master bedroom instead of the hallowed studios of the Start Today Morning Show program extravaganza studio. Here's the thing. Rachel is taping the Dr. Oz show, something I did not previously mention to anyone on Instagram who has been watching for the last 11 now minutes, because this is the very first second that we are going live. Welcome and good morning. Now that we've got that out of the way, I hope this is actually working. I can't tell if anyone is actually on Facebook. At this point, there are no wheels on this bus. It's suggesting that there is low internet connection. Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be low internet connection on my phone? It doesn't matter. We're talking about habits this week. 40 to 90%, okay? 40 to 90% of the things that you do on an every single day basis, 40 to 90% of the things that you do every single day are habits that are unconscious to you. Right? You are not even familiar with the fact that you are doing things inside of your unconscious. You are just reacting to stimulus in your life that is you showing up the way that you last showed up for whatever scenario has presented itself. So if you happened to have had good habits the last time, I'm still not on Facebook. Honestly, the people on Facebook, they're really, all right, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Listen, if you're on Instagram still, God bless you. I appreciate you being here. I promise I'm going to land this plane. This is going to be amazing. When we get back on, don't tell anyone on Facebook that we've been on for 12 minutes. Trust. I wanted this show to go so much better. This is what happens when I get left alone to handle this by myself while we are trying to do this next 90 days work without Rachel being here in the morning. All right, hold on. All right, I'm going to do it on my phone. Tried to do it on my computer. Thought I was going to get fancy on the old computer. Nope, don't know how to do it on the computer. I am not the IT person that you were looking for. I'm not the droid you were looking for. I'm nothing. Here we go. All right, back to Facebook. Here we go. One last time. Guys, hang out. Oh, hey, good morning, Facebook. Welcome. So sorry that we're a little bit late today. We still have not been on Instagram for the last 13 minutes worth of time. This is the very, very beginning of the show, so if you are just now joining, don't worry, you didn't miss a thing. We have not already covered the fact that I cut my own hair, that I am growing out a beard, theoretically, though I have no ability to grow out a beard, and we have not been talking about the fact that it is Habits Week in the Next 90-Day Challenge. All right, next 90 days. So we have 12 more weeks worth of content, and in this week we are talking about habits, and in the habit conversation, the thing I wanted to land more than anything is that at least half of the things that we do in our life are unconscious. So if you are interested if you are interested in actually showing up well, if you are looking to create some consistency between who you'd hope to be and who you know yourself to be at the end of the day, then you have to actually have a set of habits that help that version of yourself come together. Yes, Rachel is taping Dr. Oz in real time in the hallowed studios of the Start Today morning show. That is why I'm sitting on the floor of our master bedroom. So at its most basic level, I don't want to take away any of what's inside of the class for habits, but I do want to tell you this. There are 3 things that happen in every single habit, period, across the board. There are 3 things. There is a cue, right? There's a trigger. You get triggered by something. There is a routine. There is some action that you take to having been triggered, and there is a reward. And so the idea that triggers are going to happen in your life, that's just a thing that's going to happen. People are saying that Facebook still isn't working. I mean, we're going to lose the Instagram crowd if I keep trying to figure out this dang Facebook. Unbelievable. All right, hold on. Where is Rachel? Don't worry. We're all asking that question. Don't you worry. We're all asking, where is Rachel? Trust me. I want to know where Rachel is. Rachel's the one that knows how to work this stuff. I don't know how to do anything. All right. Go on Instagram. That's right. That's an easy solution. Just go on Instagram. You know what? I'm just trying to do my best here. And my best isn't good enough today. All right, last try. This is the last try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. In the words of Rocky IV, if he dies, he dies. All right, here we go. Last try. Last try on Facebook. This is it. Hey, good morning, Facebook. Hey, it's your buddy Dave. Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. I'm so sorry that we're starting late. This is the very beginning of the Start Today morning show, the morning show that literally no one is talking about, and certainly that 3,384 people haven't already been enjoying on Instagram for the last 16 minutes. Welcome to the very beginning of the Start Today morning show. It's Habits Week on the next 90-day challenge, and yes, I did cut my own hair this week, and I'm not shaving. But also, Rachel isn't here this morning because she's taping a segment of the Dr. Oz show in the hallowed studios of the Start Today morning show studio. It is going to be amazing. And I'm certainly happy that you're here this morning because it's Habits Week. And it doesn't look like it's still working. But you know what? I don't care. So here's the bottom line. If you think that you are going to have any kind of success in thriving through this quarantine, your thriving will be directly correlated to how habits have been set up to have you thrive. That's it. If you don't have the right kind of habits, then thriving becomes something that will be challenging for you, period. If you have the habits that will have you set up to do the kind of work that you'd want, to be the kind of partner you want, to be the kind of parent you want, to feel the way about yourself when you're by yourself, then you're going to show up well. And so you have to decide, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be during this quarantine? How do you want to show up? If you're an essential worker, frontline worker, if you're someone who ends up having someone or yourself become sick, like, who do you want to be when you inevitably run into the hard times that will show up during this quarantine, during this virus, during this season? Because the triggers are going to go on no matter what. Triggers do not go away. The thing that will determine whether you can be successful is if in identifying triggers, you are able to better change the routine that you approach the trigger with to still get the reward that you're hoping for. I will give you an example. I just celebrated last week having made it 1 full year's worth of time in not having a drink of alcohol. Celebrate good times. Come on, we'll keep that train going. But I had to ask, when I was triggered, one of the triggers that inevitably comes up is an emotional response. When I had an emotional response of being anxious or having fear or feeling overwhelmed, My trigger, I had a trigger of being anxious. My response was to have a drink, right? So I was triggered, I'd have a drink, and my hoped for reward was to feel less anxiety. And so that was my habit loop. I'd feel anxious, I'd have a drink. When I'd stop having a drink, I'd feel less anxious, not because the anxiety went away, but because I muted my anxiety. So when I was drinking a little more than a year ago, I was achieving the reward, but I had to ask if it was the habit loop that was best serving the way I was interested in showing up as a partner, as a father, as a human, as a leader, right? And the reality was, I came to appreciate that with any coping mechanism, you cannot mute the bad without also muting the good, right? I couldn't mute the anxiety without also muting the joy or the hope or the positivity or anything that was good in my life. I muted the bad, but I also muted all of the good. And here I'd made this big leap and I did all this work to try and push myself into spaces where I was uncomfortable so that I might grow in that discomfort. And I was muting the possibility of actually getting the fruit out of that uncomfortable station. Crazy, right? Charles Duhigg, Power of Habit. It is 100% the first book I tell any human to read if they're interested in growing personally. Because that was the first book that I read, and man, that book changed the way I felt about everything. So when I got triggered with anxiety, because I still get triggered all the time. Triggers don't go away. How you respond to triggers do. When I get triggered, I had to find other things to still provide me with the reward. There's a trigger, there's a response, and there's a reward. Those are the three components every single time of a habit. And so when I would be triggered, I would find something else that would help me get to my reward. And my reward was feeling less anxious. So I would talk with somebody about it. I would journal about it. I would put on shoes and run, because running for some distance allowed me to process my anxiety in a way that was different than suppressing it. It was actually bringing it to light so that I could ask if this anxiety was real or not real. The book is called Power of Habit. It's by a person named Charles Duhigg. It is one of the most important books I've ever read in my entire life, number one. And two, Charles and I have an hour-long conversation for this week, Habits Week, for Next 90, on Thursday's episode of the Rise Together podcast. It is fantastic. It was like a man crush Thursday kind of thing, getting to hang out and have a conversation with this person who had such a massive impact on the way I think about habits. So just number one, you've got to recognize that there is a cue, there's a routine, and there's a reward. It happens every time. The second big thing, and again, there's an hour and 15 or so minutes worth of coaching that lives right now on the portal about habits. I don't want to take anything away from it. Go listen to it. It is me telling you every single thing I know about habits. It is, I argue, fantastic. One of the other things, though, is understanding when your triggers come up, right? If you can understand when your triggers are going to come up, then you actually can try and insert with some intention a routine that serves you. Because if 40 to 90% of things are unconscious reflex reactions, they're not intentional choices, they are just habits that live in your subconscious, right? If you can identify ahead of time when you get triggered, then you can be more intentional in bringing your response to your consciousness, right? And so in the coaching that is free and in your platform right now, I want to argue, go spend time understanding where those 5 times are when you get triggered so that you can intentionally focus on how you change your response or tweak your reward to something that serves you. And those 5 things are when a certain time of day, a certain person, an emotional state, the immediately preceding action, or, oh geez, there's 5 things. A person, a time of day, the immediately preceding action, an emotional state, and one other thing. Anyway, there are five things that will trigger you, and triggers don't go away. But the more that you can stay connected to when you get triggered, then you can change the way that you respond to the trigger. That is the thing I want to encourage you to stay connected to on this location. Location is the 5th thing. So every time, a certain time of day, right? There are certain people that are listening right now that tend to eat late in the day. So if you tend to eat late in the day, like nighttime, I don't like to say the word binge eating, but let's say like after a certain time of day, you're eating more than you'd like to, and it leaves you feeling something, then time may be a trigger. Location. Every time you step into your garage, every time you pull into your driveway, every time whatever it might be, every time you go into a place, it triggers you to do something. Could be a positive trigger. Every time I walk into my garage, I'm ready to lift some weights. So it can be a positive trigger, it can be a negative trigger. Every time you are around a certain person, it triggers something, right? Could be a positive trigger. Every time you are with Noah Hollis, you are filled with joy. Every time your mother-in-law FaceTimes you, you're filled with, could be joy, could be something other than, right? Every time something that just happened, right? Every time one of your kids doesn't take their stuff from the table and puts it into the dishwasher, every time preceding action, right? Every time you get triggered, and that trigger provokes a reaction that ultimately seeks a reward. And then the last one is emotional state. So every time you feel fear, every time you feel joy, every time you feel whatever it might be, but every time you feel something, there's always a response to that feeling that produces some kind of reward. If you can get a handle on the 3 pieces of the loop and the 5 times that you are triggered, you are going to get a handle on triggers in a way that most people never ever will. And if you can, you will change your life. The book is called Power of Habit. The author, his name is Charles Duhigg. He is, New York Times bestseller, Pulitzer Prize winner. He's a reporter, and he brings his knowledge to this book through the lens of someone who is reporting on it. It is fire. It is fantastic. And I speak in the lesson about it in some ways, but also read the book. It is a fantastic book. All right. As much as we got off to a bumpy start because of Facebook never ever wanting to actually become part of this, and Rachel not being here, she's taping the Dr. Oz show in real time. I want to finish this with a little information about a little something called Rise Live. Y'all, are you excited about Rise Live? I am so excited about Rise Live. So Rise Live, tickets go on sale today at noon. There is a live Rise event happening on May 2nd. We are making it very, very affordable in terms of what the tickets start at. They start at $40. And the tickets have some tiers. The tiers are going to show some different things that you might get in terms of some additional merchandise or some additional access, okay? There are some amazing, amazing speakers that are going to be part of this event. And I'm going to tell you who they are right now. So, if you've been to a Rise event, you know that Rachel Hollis does the lion's share of the teaching, and she is, again, going to do the lion's share of the teaching. I'm going to be doing a little tiny bit of the teaching. Beans, who is our MC, is going to be the MC. Chris Chandler, who gets all of us moving our bodies, is going to be part of it. Asan, our DJ, he's absolutely going to be there making this place shake and move. But then also, we are going to have speakers, as we have historically had speakers at Rise events. And the speakers include John Maxwell, who is, the godfather of leadership, one of the nicest human beings that we have ever been graced to become friends with. He's authored more than 70 books. He's had more than 20 million copies of them sell. His 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth is like one of the absolutely, you have to absolutely get it and read it. But he's amazing. He is one of the speakers at the event. Ed Milet. Ed Milet, he is an extraordinarily motivational human being. He's one of the top 50 entrepreneurs under 50. He has an amazing podcast called Max Out. He has built a very, very big business and is speaking from a place of having himself persevered through adversity as we have this conversation around courage. Remember, courage, our topic for Rise Live. Every speaker in some way is going to really focus in on their personal sweet spot as it pertains to courage. And any of the things that are happening, what happened? Okay, hold on. Rachel's here. All right. I couldn't get Facebook to work, honey.
You couldn't get Facebook to work?
Facebook's not working, but Rachel's here. Rachel's here. Here we go.
Here I am. Hello.
Honey.
I just did an interview with Dr. Oz.
Yes, you did an interview with Dr. Oz, you son of a gun.
Skype interview with Dr. Oz, and we're basically best friends now, you guys.
All right, I was just telling people,
about?
I just am finishing, because I'm finishing with Who's Talking. I just told them about Ed, and I told them about John. That's all I've said.
Maxwell, you guys.
I know.
John Maxwell, who we have wanted on a Rise stage forever and ever and ever, and his schedule's always so insane he couldn't do it, but now he's doing Rise Live. Next one, can I announce this one?
I want you to do anything you'd like.
Eric Thomas.
Come on now.
If you do not follow Eric Thomas, you are missing so much inspiration on Instagram and I think on all over the place. He's E.T., the hip hop preacher. He is so inspiring. He's such a powerhouse. He is a kick in the pants. Eric Thomas. That's another one that I've wanted forever and haven't been able to get before.
I found out when I was researching this morning that he's got his doctorate in education, but he's like a preacher.
He's like a full-on preacher.
He's a full-on preacher.
But he's like a kick-your-butt preacher.
Oh, he yells.
Yeah.
He talks like a champ. He's unbelievable that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Donald Miller. If you have done anything in marketing in the last, 5 years, you've probably heard of StoryBrand. He has the incredible StoryBrand podcast. He has the StoryBrand workshops. He's an author forever. Like, you guys probably know him from back in the day. So Donald Miller is another first time to the Rise stage. So we're super excited to have him.
Yep.
Your turn.
And then Jen Hatmaker is going to be there. Our friend
girl.
Jen Hatmaker, bringing every single bit of fire that she normally does. But again, around this, like through the lens of courage.
Yes.
So this is going to be 100% brand new content. There is nothing that has previously been like kind of a part of a Rise event. You get the same kind of energy. You get the same kind of like motivation, inspiration, and challenge. But inevitably, if you've been before, it's 100% brand new. And it is taught specifically through the lens of courage from each of these people that in and of themselves could lead to a full day event. It's 8 hours.
8 hours of programming. So 8 hours of programming through the lens of courage, either courage as a leader for your business or courage as a leader for your family. And we're talking about courage through the lens of mindset, consistency, confidence, and dang it, I can't remember. It's all on the landing page. Look and see if the landing page is up. Because if it's not yet, it will be soon.
All right.
Tickets don't go on sale until noon Central, but the website should be up soon, so you guys can go peek at it. There are unlimited tickets except for VIP. VIP is a limited number because you get like this really cool, you get this really cool like gift box thing delivered to your house, but we could only have a certain amount of those. So there's a limited number of VIP. All the rest are available for you. Tickets start at $40, which is bananas for 8 hours of programming. And
there's replay, and the replay differs by ticket tier.
Ticket price,
but
exactly.
if you get the $40 ticket, I think you get 24 hours to watch it.
International, yeah, you can get it anywhere. Because this is our first time and because we're so limited and all the things right now because of coronavirus and quarantine and all of that. When and if we do this again, like if this is successful and we do this again, we will have this translated into other languages. We don't have that capability this time. I really thought we were going to, but in order to do that, you have to have a translator in the room, and like we can't, it's too hard right now. So we will do it later. Can it be replayed if I purchase? Yes, depending on your ticket price. So all of that information will be on the site, theholliscode.com/live.
Just go to theholliscode.com.
It'll just be right there at the top. You just press that button. No, it's available all over the world, anywhere in the world. But VIP, the box is not something we can ship internationally. That is a bummer. Yes, I know that is a bummer. But that we just, maybe Canada. We should find that out.
We'll
I
find
actually
that
don't
out.
know that.
I don't know.
But like shipping over an ocean right now is not, no, we're not that cool.
May 2nd is the day of the event. It's a Saturday, so mark your calendar.
Yep.
It is going to be a fantastic day. The live, most of it's going to be live. The speakers will not be live. They're
pre-recorded, but they can't be.
You will be live. I will be live. Asan will be live. Beans will be live. Chris Chandler will be live.
And the amount of work that we are doing to figure out how to have everyone in different locations be live at the same time, but have it be high quality. Like,
oh my goodness,
this is taking a basically an act of God to pull off during this season. But we are going to figure it out. We are fighting for it. We're so excited. I feel like I need it. You guys, can we off of the topic for just 1 minute? Do you tell them that I cried yesterday?
I did not tell them that you cried yesterday.
So
I didn't know if I was allowed.
No, I feel like this is a good one for other parents because I know I'm not the only parent who has this sort of moment, and I just also want you to know that my kids are jerks sometimes too. So let's just do that. So yesterday was Easter. Normally that would be a huge day for us. We'd go to church. We have always had 50 to 100 people at our house.
We've had everyone. And it was like, if you don't have a place to go, just come over here.
Easter's a big deal.
Everyone who didn't have a place to go just showed up at our place.
Always. And so I knew coming into Easter, like for the last 3 weeks in quarantine, I mean, they were going into week 5 of quarantine, by the way. Jesus, take the wheel. But for the last 3 weeks, I have been really focused on Easter and just making sure, like, did I have everything for their baskets? Did I have everything to make it feel special? Like, I was so over the top, not on like spending money, but just want to make sure that like, did I have the ham in time? Did I, whatever. Yeah. So we get up yesterday, we do breakfast, we make breakfast, we have pancakes and bacon. Then I do lunch, I do these sticky ham and cheese sandwiches that are always part of Easter for us. They're in the cookbook if you need them. And then I did this whole dinner. So I do fried chicken. The chicken's been marinating in buttermilk for like 48 hours. Like it's a whole production. And so now I've done breakfast, I've done lunch, and now for dinner I've been in the kitchen for at least 2 hours. Getting it all done. 3 or 4 kinds of desserts. The thing was there's only 7 of us because it's us and then my niece is in quarantine with us. There's only 7 of us, but for me, I knew that if I didn't put the amount of effort that I normally would into a holiday, it was going to make me feel really sad. Yeah. So I just way over the top, right? Did all the things. And 2 hours in the kitchen, we sit down to eat, and I hate wasting food. And so I'm making my world famous mac and cheese. My kids love it. They eat it all the time. And I go to the fridge and I notice that there's a thing of broccoli in there. And I'm like, oh, I don't want the broccoli to go bad. I'm going to do sort of like a broccoli cheddar situation. I steam the broccoli. I chop it up really fine. I put it in with the mac and cheese. Delicious. We sit down at the table, and first my oldest son, my niece is like, which piece of chicken do you want? My oldest son's like, the one that's least burnt. They weren't burnt. But it just like,
here we go.
He meant like he didn't like the ones that were extra crunchy, but he said burnt. And so first that's what I hear. And then not 4 minutes later, the kids are, they're like, what's in the mac and cheese?
What is this green stuff in the mac and cheese?
You eat broccoli. It's broccoli. And they're like, me. And then my younger sons put it on their plates. And then my 7-year-old's like, this smells funny. I don't want to eat food that smells funny. And then my 11-year-old is like, wait, there's no want mine. I'm not going to eat this. This is disgusting. I'm not going to eat this, whatever. And
the thing that tipped it over was when he asked if he could have like a piece of turkey or carrots out of the crisper or something. Like, he asked if he could have an alternative to what you created, and that was the end.
That was the straw. This was the camel's back.
Yeah.
And I have never done this in my entire life. I literally got up and left the Easter table with its bunny napkins and its beautiful Easter themed settings. I got up and left the table.
Goodbye.
And went to my room.
Goodbye.
And sat out on the back patio right here and bawled my eyeballs out. Bawled.
The good news is it was terrible.
It was so,
but also it's kind of what it took for the kids to appreciate how crazy it is for them to complain about mac and cheese that you created.
Well, do you know what I realize is that normally that kind of dinner would be a big deal. But we have been cooking for these kids around the clock for 5 weeks. So now it's like normalized me making dinner. And this was an elaborate, like, I put a lot of work into this.
But they're just so used to sitting around the table that they didn't think of it as being special.
But in any event, even if it wasn't special, even if it was like a ham sandwich, you need to lock it down. But it hurt my feelings. Like, my kids have never hurt my feelings before. It hurt my feelings. And I didn't cry in front of them. But I came on the back patio and I was like weeping. Because I'm thinking, I don't know about you guys, but the I don't want to say the only, but almost, the only like good memories of my childhood were holidays and dinners. It's like the one thing that my family did that brought everyone together was like cook and eat and holidays. And even if my family was crazy and all the aunts hated each other and whatever, we all came together for holidays. And so I put way too much effort into holidays, but it like was devastating because I'm like, dude, you don't have to like it. Just don't be mean about it at the table. So I came and I'm like sitting on, and Dave comes and sits next to me and he's like, it's okay. I
said it was okay, and then I also qualified it. No,
hard.
I qualified it. I said, no, it's okay to feel this sad. You deserve all of these tears. I'm not trying to talk you out of feeling anything. I also didn't make a joke, which is such
That was the first time in our marriage that you didn't make a joke. Because normally he'd try and be like, oh, do you want me to like murder them? Like he would make some kind of inappropriate joke to try and make me laugh.
That's how serious it was.
Did they ask if they could come out?
Yeah.
Okay. So then
they were sobbing at the table and asked if they could come out and console you.
I didn't cry in front of them, but they knew I was upset and they knew they had hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And so they came out and they were like, I'm so sorry, mommy. And I'm like trying not to cry because I'm not trying to put that on them. And I just said, hey guys, like I worked really hard and I was trying to make the day special, and I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but cooking's harder than it seems, and just if you don't like something, don't say it. But
my solution,
we all hugged and we talked about it, and but it was a really interesting Easter dinner, to be honest.
My solution, though you haven't jumped on board yet, is that we should have mac and cheese with broccoli in it for 20 consecutive nights and have it be the only option that they get to eat, just so that we can make sure that they know.
I wanted to like flip the tables like Jesus at the temple, but I didn't. Lots of people are asking. Thanks for asking. There's a mac and cheese recipe on the blog. There's also a mac and cheese recipe in the first cookbook, which is Upscale Down Home. But that one's it's delicious. It's bacon Ortega mac and cheese, which the kids, God forbid, you think they won't eat broccoli?
I'm here for that.
If you think
Let's
they'd
go.
eat Ortega chilies, you are sadly mistaken.
Come on.
But in any event, that was Easter, which was really weird. And I was like, girl, you better get some sleep because you gotta wake up. It's a launch day tomorrow. It's gonna be a better day.
Come on.
It's gonna be a better day. You get to talk to Dr. Oz, get to announce it. But anyway, if anyone else cried yesterday,
not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone. Anyway, hey guys, have a fantastic Monday.
Have a great Monday.
At noon Central, tickets go on sale for Rise Live, which is our first ever virtual conference. You can go to theholliscode.com to find out the information. You can replay this to find out all the amazing speakers. We're really, really excited about this. We feel like as a community, it's something that we super, super need. Did you talk about habits?
I did talk about
Okay, great,
habits.
perfect, great. If you are not part of our next 90-day challenge, it's totally free. There's so much free content, and we're really intentional. Look, we're doing a virtual conference for you guys, but also straight up, we run a business that is doing live events, and we're not going to be able to do a live event until much later in the year, and we have 60 employees. So this is our attempt to make sure that we have some revenue coming in while serving you. The least expensive ticket is $40,
Yep.
and that's about $100 less than anyone else's least expensive virtual ticket. But I understand that for some of you, $40 is not going to be possible. It's one of the reasons that we're doing the next 90-day challenge, because we wanted you to have free content that didn't cost you anything. So for 3 months, you're getting a weekly class from me and Dave. There's tons of value in PDF and all of that. So if you can join us for virtual conference, it's going to be amazing. People from all over the world leaning into this idea about courage. And if you can't, man, make sure you're signed up for next 90-day challenge, because all of that stuff is free.
If you can, and you would like to support someone who can't, there will be an option at checkout for you to sponsor someone who has raised their hand and represented that $40 is more than they can handle, but is something that if there were a scholarship made available that they would be interested in. So if you find yourself with more and you want to try and help someone who right now just can't, there is an option at checkout. You're super welcome to do it. Our customer service is going to connect your willingness with the need that exists in the community, and we'll hopefully have all the people, no matter where you are.
We're giving away a ton of tickets to essential workers, first line medical personnel, emergency personnel, teachers, but lots of people were asking if they could gift more so that we could give more, and the answer is absolutely, so that'll be available at checkout.
There we go.
All right, when's Dr. Oz? I don't know. I'll make sure and put it on social. It was a pre-recorded thing, so also he was in a full suit and I was in a denim Levi shirt, so I was
Feels
like, well,
right.
Dr. Oz, I'm in my Texas tuxedo.